Most welcome guests. My name is Justin McKellar, and I just wanted to take a few minutes to speak about myself. I love telling people where I'm from. The conversation, especially with people from the city, and I just had it with David actually during coffee, goes something like this. Hey, so where are you from? I'm from a small town in southwestern Ontario. You probably haven't heard of it. Oh, I've heard of towns in Ontario before. Is it near London? Yeah, it's called Glencoe. Oh, never heard of it. So the town I'm from, population 2,200. It's a farming community. It has both a McKellar Street and a McKellar Tavern. We share my name. I didn't live on a farm, but I had plenty of friends who did live on farms. It was always interesting to see what would happen during the sleepovers when I was a young lad. I would go over there thinking we'd be running around, playing hide-and-go-seek in the woods, riding our bikes. But much to my chagrin, we would be woken up early in the morning, and sure enough, we'd be given the keys to the old retrofitted golf cart with the flatbed, and be told, yep, it's time for the old perennial rock harvest. Picking rocks in the field. Now, picking rocks in the field, I'm not sure if it actually did anything. I think it was much more of a character building exercise, because the rocks that we had to pick up, although we were told they're going to wreck that planter, but the rocks that we picked up weren't big enough to wreck the planter, and the rocks that would have wrecked the planter we probably couldn't lift anyways. So I love my hometown, but after high school I looked forward to seeing what was beyond the back 40 acres. I was a math and science kid, and I'd narrowed the choice down between chemistry and civil engineering. What they have to do with each other? Not very much, but chemistry offered a $2,000 scholarship, so like any 18-year-old kid, I decided to go with the money. University was the time of my life. I made lifelong friendships, and most importantly, I met the love of my life, beer. My fiance would really kill me for that one. But I did actually meet my fiance in university. I met her in third year, and it was one of those things that you knew was perfect just right off the bat. It was meant to be. We're going to be married in August, so we're really looking forward to it. But I must honestly say I also did fall in love with beer. I felt a little more justified than some of my friends, because I was not only fascinated with the inebriating effects, but with the art and science of the production of beer. So I decided to go and actually work at a brewery, and luckily enough I worked for 2 co-op terms at Molson Breweries in Toronto, and I thought this is the career choice for me. I thought I would give the co-op program its due course. I went and worked for a pharmaceutical company for 4 months, and I really found out that, you know what, there's a lot to be said about enjoying your company's products after work. It wasn't quite the same going home, bringing the boys over on a Friday and having some, Propecia hair loss medication. It wasn't quite the same as cracking a cold beer, right? So, to solidify my intent of my career choice, I actually traveled to Scotland to study towards a master's in brewing and distilling. I was lucky enough to bring my fiancée with me to Scotland, and she attended Teachers College. It was such a great experience for the 2 of us, and we had this great little flat. We were about 200 yards away, literally like a 9-iron away from Edinburgh Castle. It was just so picturesque, it was amazing. And to help fund my obsession with the local architecture of the drinking establishments, I had to find a part-time job. So the place I worked at, it was called the Scotch Malt Whisky Society. This place was like heaven. I actually think this place was heaven. We sampled and tasted some of the rarest single malt, single cask strength whiskeys around. Now the single malt, like the single cask, it's all in one cask strength, doesn't have any water to dilute it. It was just some of the purest nectar that you could ever taste. So I found another job where drinking is a requirement. So contrary to what your guidance counselor told you, they do exist. So we traveled to England, Ireland, Italy, and France. We traveled highlands, lowlands, lochs and moors, and everywhere in between. And all around that we received a top-notch education. Before I graduated, I accepted a job with Labatt in Canada working as an operations trainee. Now this job allows me to learn the brewing process from basically right from the start right to the finish. And this was one of the main reasons why I went away to school. So it was really a dream job that I found. It was, now I've seen some of the world. This job means I get to see some of the country, because in this job I'll have to move to three different plants throughout the country. So it's really a great experience for me. My first placement with Labatt's was out in Creston, BC. Before going to BC, I heard what I'm sure many of you have heard about BC. Once you go there, you'll never want to leave, right? Now, I lived in this fertile valley, all the fresh fruit you could imagine, incredibly hot and dry summer, wonderful lake, mountainous backdrop. Hard to leave is an understatement, right? So it's my job with Labatt that's brought me here today, to this wonderful part of the country as well. And it's one of the reasons why I'm here today speaking in front of you. St. John's is a wonderful place, has amazing people. I look forward to exploring more of this city, I look forward to exploring more of this province, and I look forward to exploring more of this great country of ours. So, thank you.